it's good to see a solid BGP config so that we can review if we understand how to really set up this routing protocol. Let's focus on R1. So R1 down over here. R1 is in 65.0.20, looks good. We're pointing via an eBGP neighborship over to R2. We're setting up a password. It's a beautiful thing. BGP authentication configuration. This is the easiest authentication you could possibly set up for any routing protocol. So you put in a shared character string, and that's it. Now it looks like we're advertising a network, 172.20, and we've got a 16-bit mask. So that prefix better have a 16-bit mask attached to it. If it did not, we would not advertise it, because remember that the BGP network command is looking for an exact match. Not close, or it's not trying to capture everything within this space. It's just looking for one network. R2, if we are looking at R2 over here, we are pointing over to R1. We're pointing over to R3. So we're pointing to its loopback interface. Take a look at that. That's really interesting. So R2 is pointing to R3 via 2.2. And that's that address right there. Let's draw a line so we can visualize that. Get a good color so you can see it. Then, what do we see here? On 2.2, let's just focus on that neighbor, 2.2. We see update source loopback 0. Good. So now our source is going to be our loopback 0. Because when we're doing iBGP config, iBGP neighborships should really be pointing to their loopback, but we have to make sure we're coming from our loopback. So that's update source loopback 0. Next hop self. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Let's follow this network being advertised from 172.16 or 172.20. That network is going to come from R1. And the next hop is going to be, it's going to be 10.1.1.2 at that point right there. We are then overriding the next hop to be R2's address so that R3 understands how to get there. Because R3 may not know how to get to the 10.1.1.2 network. We choose to not advertise. It's a best practice to exclude links between different autonomous systems. Transit links between separate autonomous systems should not be advertised into BGP. So the next hop self command says when R3 gets that, it's going to be IP address of R2, which is great. So that's the neighborship for 2.2. Good. Then it looks like R2 is advertising some prefixes. Let's look. 172.16.10 with the /24 mask. If I look up here, ooh, that doesn't look good to me. 172.16.0.0. That probably needs to be a .10 in order for us to truly advertise that link. So I would want to do maybe a show IP interface brief, make sure that it's the right network that we're advertising, the correct network. And any other networks we could advertise in. Honestly, advertising these networks into BGP shouldn't be necessary because we're going to be reliant on our IGP in order to accomplish routing inside of our autonomous system. But we've just taken a full look at this config, and there's a lot to be learned from it.